Hola estudiantes. This video is all about some verbs that are going to change your spelling in the preterite tense, the past tense that we're learning. This is a topic that you learned in Spanish 1 right before the pandemic hit, and also if you're a class that has already done commands, you have learned this with this as well. So there are verbs in Spanish that we're going to call car, gar, and zar verbs. And what I mean by those is they end in the letter car, like tocar, for instance, gar, such as jugar, or zar, such as almorzar. So the reason these verbs are special is the letters C, G, and Z, hence the car, gar, zar verbs. C, G, and Z can make two different sounds, and it's this way in both English and Spanish. When we have these verbs, we want every single form to make the same sound with letters C, G, or Z. So that's why it's going to happen with a spelling change. So for instance, here with the letter C, I can have a K sound, such as in car. I can have a S sound, such as in centimeter. I can have a S sound again, such as in city. I can have a K sound, such as in cook, or I can have a K sound such as in cup. So in summary, the letter C can make the K sound or the S sound. It makes the K sound when the next letter is A, O, or U, or any consonant. But it only makes the S sound when the next letter is an E or I. So the key here is that when I have a letter C, G, or Z, followed by an I or E, it's going to make a different sound, like the S sound for C. And the normally a C would make the K sound. With G, typically in English, G makes the G sound, but then when it's an I or E next, it's the J sound. In Spanish, that's going to be the like H sounding G. So what's going to happen, the reason I'm bringing this up with the preterite tense is in the yo form of a preterite tense for an AR verb, my yo ending is going to be an E. And that goes back to R, C, G, or Z followed by an I or E is making a different sound now. And that's just in the yo form because all my other preterite endings are A, aste, O, amos, astes, aron, which are not I's or E's. So here, since I have this E, I'm going to have to change some spelling. So for instance, if I were to conjugate the verb, let's do the first one from this list, tocar, to touch. If I wanted to say I touched, and I have my normal TOC start everywhere because I have tocar, take off the AR. Here's what I end up with. So currently, since there's an E here, this sounds more like tose instead of the toke with a K sound from tokar. I'm going to have to change the C, and it's going to change into a QU because I want to keep it with a K sound. So here, now I can say toke, tokaste, toko, tokamos, tokastais, tokaron with that K sound everywhere. So once again, this only happens in the yo form because I now have an E. I's and E's make different sounds. So here is how these different letters will change. This is just in the yo form, just in the preterite tense, because we're putting an E here. C changes to a QU. G is going to change to a GU. And Z is going to change to a C. And once again, this is just in the yo form. So I would pause the video, write down what these letters change to, just yo form of a preterite. So in the examples, I put what it would have been if it didn't change. So like here instead of tokar, I have tose. So I had to make it toke. I don't want jugar to be juge. I want it to be juge. Almorzar, I want instead of almorce, it has to be almorce. These two would sound the same, except for reasons these changed is because they can't have an E after the letter Z in Spanish for some reason. And you can see spell check also mark these wrong too. So I'm going to do some practice. So remember, it's only the yo ones that have to change. So for instance, when I go to conjugate almorzar and the preterite take off my AR, the new ending is aste. that one I don't have to change the spelling because it's not a yo one. Organizar, take off my ending. Organize, Z has to change to a C because it's in the yo form. Tocar, this is a yo one, C changes to QU, and then I have my E. Yo ending, Yegaron, this is not in the yo form, so it's just the normal G spelling. Bucear. So note this means to scuba dive. This was a word you might have learned in Spanish 1. This is not a car verb because it goes C-E-A-R. So you have to be careful. Not all verbs are cargar verbs. So even though this is yo, it's still a normal one. And then jugar, talking about el atleta, it would be jugo, not a yo verb. So in summary, C changes to Q, G changes to GU, Z changes to C. This is only in the yo form of the preterite. Adios.